things and the instrument. And
Is
then,
someone
like,
Nicholas?
Yes.
Oh,
That was easy.
and then like a place where you can like record things, like wave and turn like massively, and then it's got a mirror where you can like, dance and things like that.
There is a mirror here. Down the lectures. Yeah, it's where I do yoga and. Oh, is that my hair there? Oh my god.
Are we broadcasted?
Yeah. Like you can just see my hair
At
bun.
least your hair has been brought.
Yeah. Look.
You're
This is
masking.
awkward.
Perfect. Don't move.
You have something to like a t-shirt? No, a t-shirt. What? It's a phone when you bring.
That's my skin. Sustainable. You see, I reuse it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Topic of the day.
Yeah, well, we're streaming the entire thing.
no way.
on
That's
our
my
YouTube.
first time ever. I
Okay.
never have been recorded.
It's a
Don't
very
get
good
nervous.
project.
I'm
I'm
definitely.
pretty sure there's no more people out there than there are in here.
Yeah,
It's not that, it's the first time we're doing stuff like this, so that won't be that many.
no, the thing is that I'm a cypherpunk, so until 8 months ago, you could not find anything about me online. So, but because of the project, I have more a role to meet and represent and being visible. I had to create I had to upload a picture of me to the internet on speaker profiles and stuff like that. So this is really the first time I'm ever recorded. that's for me like
That's what you think.
another step that I'm participating in it. So
That you
that's the
willingly.
reason. Yeah, willingly. Exactly. Good. Okay. Welcome everyone. I'm Lukas from Stuttgart, from Luftdaten Info. And I will just start as we start every workshop, even this is a presentation because we are a smaller group. But just can everyone tell his name, where he's from, and perhaps his association, and then we can introduce each other. And please speak out loud so everybody else can hear you. Can you please start?
Okay, my name is Søren Møller. I'm working at Roskilde University Library, and we are interested in all sorts of data, open data, open science, and we promote that so that we can live up to the motto of the data management policy of the university, as open as possible, as close as necessary.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, my name is Magnus from Gothenburg, Sweden, where I work at the research institute called Rights Interactive. We do a research project where we, among other things, we built a few of these sensors with people. We have translated a lot of the material and stuff to Swedish, and we have quite an active sort of community, Facebook community in Sweden around this, around Luftdaten.
How many sensors do you have so far in Sweden?
Good question.
I can show you how we can find out. It's on
Yeah,
the website.
I don't know exactly, but we have done a couple of workshops. We had one in a science festival where there was, I don't know, 50 to 70 people in one day or something.
Okay, yeah, please go on.
I'm Martin from University of Copenhagen, where I work with computer science education. So, see how this could maybe be used to, in high schools with informatics classes.
Is it your first time in touch with such a sensor?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't been using it for teaching yet. I just played around with it in my office.
Okay.
I'm Jessie. I study here at Book, and I just saw the event online, and I haven't really been in touch with any of that, but it's always interesting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome.
I am Modenic. I come from France. I'm also curious. I'm not studying here. I just study it online as well.
Cool. Which city are you from?
I live in Copenhagen.
Okay. Okay.
My name is Chiara. I study here. I'm a master's student. My subject is totally different. I study business. But yeah, we were like all curious to see what the workshop was about.
Cool. Thank you.
My name's Sebastian. I'm the manager of one of the labs at IT University
Copenhagen lab a bit like this. We've done air pollution, air quality monitoring for about 7-8 years from an IT angle. We've worked with these sensors for 2-3 years. So when last year we heard about Luftdaten sort of gaining momentum in Denmark, we kind of connected us to that movement.
Mhm.
My name is Thomas Tikukow. I'm from a consultancy called Coordinate, where we work with technology and people and citizen engagement and how to get data out to people and to politicians and get the democratic engagement of people going.
Awesome.
I'm Cordula Göke and I work at Aarhus University, and but here I'm sort of a neighbor. It's I live here in Trekroner, and I started to in such a maker space to spend some time here, and it's sort of a connection at work. We have this high tech stuff and how to build easy access equipment for everyone.
Cool, thank you.
My name is Seva. I'm a student here at Roskilde University too, doing my master's thesis. I'm here because I believe it's really important things that are going on right now in this transformation of urban societies. And I'm not into coding, but I hope I will learn something today, being a citizen. So just wait. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Welcome everyone. And I will make you understand what was this about at the end. But let's start first come first. So what are we doing? We are measuring with these devices air quality, that is like the particles that are floating in the air. And they are standardized in size. There is like this PM, particular matter 10, and particular matter 2.5, which is smaller one. The particular 10 is like the one that's stuck in your lung. And the 2.5 is even smaller. It goes through your lung into your bloodstream. So therefore it can discover much more of your organs and get in touch with them. So the health impact is even bigger. But there it doesn't start, there it doesn't end. So when we are invited to conferences where researchers are discuss this topic, there is even particular matter 1, and then ultra fine particles, like even the smallest of the small. And the focus on international level is on the 2.5 particles, and this is where we want to participate and where we want to unify the knowledge and the most of the papers, the most of the research. In Europe, suddenly we are at PM10 level, where the discussion of the researchers is most focusing on. So just to give you the framing. The situation is that in Stuttgart, in South Germany, we had the highest values measured by the official stations in whole of Germany. Why is it so? Because our city is in a valley, so therefore there is no air circulation. That's weather impact is very high on the particles in the air and also on your health. So this raised the concern of regular citizens. And then they requested to have access to this data that is collected and then to create a platform so citizens as them can be informed in close to real time. Something like a map with a visual indicator. Sounds easy, right? So you make the request to them and then you get a no. Then you have to show them the laws of the European Commission that they have to open up. And then they send you, after long conversations, a PDF, not machine-readable data, how the situation was 6 months ago. And then ping pong of emails, you get to 3 months, and so on. But at no point there was a situation that you would have something in your hand that you could start building something by yourself and provide it to the world. An indicator, how is it now? So the people started to buy the sensors that they found online that you can see in the box. You can take out one of the bags and then hand it over. So it's like the people can feel this, the size of the sensor. Yeah, each one grab one. So there is basically everything that you need. But this is not where we started. So we started with plenty of several sensors and we had to test them. We had to see how we can make best sense of them. How do they function? How do they behave? How do they measure? So basically all the R&D elements we did ourselves. We became our own institutions with the group, the size like you see now, even smaller. So this is how it started. And citizens just unite to create this And then the outcome is that at one point we found the winner, so the best sensor at that time for us was the one that you see in front of you, and we stick to it, and it came out, it is a very good one. So why can I tell you that it is a very good one? Is because we gave this sensor to institutions as material testing institutions, and they have a specific chamber. So they create the environment and they can measure it regarding to the supersize 1 million euros official station equipment. And then they put this 15 euro thing beside. And then they overlap. And then they see both are going up and down, quite close to each other. Not totally aligned, but very, very close. And then they say, oh, this is like very amazing. So what they did is, it's always a 3-step process. First, put our sensors close to their official sensors. It's like in this chamber where they have this simulation and situation. And then they have a mobile version of their sensors, which they put into the field where our sensors are already measuring since months. So then they come, they have their checkbox, an expert is putting them, setting it up, make the checkboxes, and then it starts measuring in the field beside ours. So they have these 2 different environments, and then in the 3rd phase, they do the report as an institution. So they express how good or how bad it is. So it is very good as it is very close, and it is bad because when the humidity is above 80%, the values start to freak out. Because then the system is like that the particles are sucked in. So there is a tube of 10 centimeters before to harmonize the air stream when it's sucked in. There is small ventilator that starts every 2.5 minutes sucking in the air. And the air passes a chamber where a laser beam is shot out and sees what comes back. And it measures and detects the sizes of the particles and gives this value out. This is what we are measuring. So when there is too much humidity in the air, it can be that the water droplets are measured as particles. So this can freak out the sensor, and we are aware of this behavior since the beginning. So because many people are asking, are you aware? Yes, we are aware, and we are working since then on calibration methods and not calibration methods is before, it's on correction factors that you can put in work afterwards. But whatever you measure is always the raw data. This is the important part, and we always will give out the raw data. So whatever correction factor we put above it, if the situation occurs, it will be first displayed why, and then you have the option to choose it if you want to have it into place, because we will offer several ones. And then there will be a description of how this correction factor is came together, from which institution, why they put it that way, and what it does. And then you will have the raw data and then the value after the correction factor. So this is the process to make you aware. And basically what happened that this group at the beginning set up this website, and they just started publishing what they do. So they created like a description, and they wrote down what they are, what they want to do, what they want to achieve. And they put this picture into the internet. And then they said, okay, we want to have, let's say, 300 of the sensors for our city, Stuttgart, because there is the movie 300 Warriors, you know? So there was a crowdfunding campaign, successfully done, 300 sensors been deployed, and then people had 300 sensors in their city. And that resulted in this. A map of the sensors in one city, but then this happened. So that was before, and then, what's up? Before we had nothing. Is there something blocked, or why it cannot be loaded? Ah, now it's just the connection, it seems slow, because it loads part of it. Can you? Okay, thank you. So that was the situation before, people didn't know, and then this map was created, which you will see, and it became viral. So people have been spreading the idea, the systematics, that it is not like people think, that it is expensive, huge, and I never built a computer. At the end, it is just this size, and it is 30 euros material cost, 35, I think, material cost. And then after such a workshop, you go out and you know all the parts that are inside of it, what they are doing, how they are connected, and you take this home and you can hang it up and connect it to the network and become one of now 7,400 in 57 countries. And just in January, we decided, okay, now let's start growing. Because until then, it was kind of an accident, because it escalated, but in a positive way. Exactly, so this is it. And there you see where we are, and this is what we wanted at the beginning. So it's like an indicator for you, how is the situation. So you see here the color bar, and then you can see what is the value measured now, and this is refreshed every 2.5 minutes. So this ventilator kicks in every 2.5 minutes. The air is sucked in through the pipe every 2.5 minutes. It's measured. And this small device, which is like a full computer and has a Wi-Fi opening up, is sending it through the internet to our servers aggregating the data of all 7,400 sensors together. And then we create this map and display it on the website where everybody can access it and see how the situation is now. I've never been here before. It's my first time in Denmark. But if someone else placed the sensor, oh, it could be that it's this outside here, the window, what you can see. Perhaps when you go around, there are two. So then there is a point on the map. So that means that I could make a decision. It's like, should I go running today or should I go somewhere else? How is the air now? So I'm benefiting of the work of someone else because this person became a part of a bigger network. So that's how this map comes together. It's not just you have your sensor and your data and your map for yourself, but you are a part of something and support the others. And as in January, we said, okay, this is like really rolling out and we want to grow now. So now I can provide you everything that we put into place to really make this growth happen. And there is like two components to it. One is the technical side, and the more important one is like the connections between humans. So the technical side is that we have an automatic flashing tool, we have an automatic registration tool, and we have the change from pull to push. Pull means you have to go to the website, you have to click on the map, you have to zoom in, you can zoom in here in. So this is like, you have to zoom in, but I don't know if the connection is better. So you can zoom in. And you can see where the sensors are. Here are they listed by the number. You click on the number, and then it loads to the last 24 hours of measurement. The other one is better. Oh, didn't measure. Something happened with this one. Okay, here it is. So here you see. So this is a pull approach that you have to go there to get something. And now we have 2 weeks ago presented a tool. It's a prototype, but basically all functions are working. We have to set it up with the live system that you can connect with a sensor. You go on the map and you can click this, and that sensor I want as a group. You set up a level, and then you give us your email address and you will be notified once this level is crossed. So this is something we push the information to you. So it's a change from pull to push. And there at that point, you are not only hanging up a sensor and you are part of a group, this still exists, but now also your own sensor can deliver you something. And then you can say, this sensor is at the school of my kids, another sensor is at the office of my wife or my husband, this sensor is at the home of my grandparents, and then you can be notified. So therefore you have some data that you can change behavior. You don't have to pull and always think about it. You can set it up, walk through life, and be notified. So that's the situation that we raised, like that happens. And now the bigger picture is, because everybody's asking like about their city when we have like a conversation, everybody's zooming. So it's very easy to find out where the people are from because they always zoom into their city and then they want to see. But now we have the situation of 7,400 sensors in 57 countries, okay, but most of them are in Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, and close to 1,000 now in Bulgaria. And half a year ago, we started, after connecting with them and their learnings, to put them into place in Poland. Like half a year ago, I was at the Fearless City conference, giving a speech there. And then immediately different groups came together and said like, oh, that's a great cause. And we do different things and we are active in different districts, but let's unify through this project and let's realize it together. Everybody's taking care about their district, about their community, and they holding like meetings. And then people from a hackerspace are rotating, participating everywhere. So it's like when there is like a super complex question someone has technically, they step in and help out. But basically the dynamic is that I won't tell you everything step by step, but I just refer you to the guide and you help each other out. So I step in if you don't know further. But it is very important that you collectively work together, because at the end, this is not a room of individuals. The cause of this is that you become a group and you start exchanging, because you are connected through this topic. It's another purpose. It's not just that the sensor is there, but the interaction with the people is very important. Hello?
Hello.
So the part, like when there is a new division starting, and then they think like, oh, this is so complex and the first sensor is so hard to make. Yes, this is true. But if you do this more often, over the time it's getting much easier. So the time of this presentation, you always need a few minutes to describe what it's about, yes. But the time of building the sensor over the weeks is reduced more and more, because people will come that know how to build it and help out the others. And a time where people connect with each other and exchange and say like, hey, I saw you on the campus, or you're my neighbor, or how are you linked, or you told me you're from this institute, let's talk, because you're interested in this topic, let's exchange. Because there is so much more to it than just a sensor and this data. This conversation is so complex, there is so much to it. So what we figured out by basically me traveling all over Europe, in these conversations that I had with these individual groups, is that I found they are very autonomous. So especially in Belgium and Netherlands, they're very active, they do a lot, but it's at the end easier for them to connect with us in Stuttgart, back and forth, instead of knowing that in the neighbor city there is also some activity going on. So it was very interesting to see. And we thought like, okay, let's change that. Because we've been at so many events where we have been faced with like innovations towards this project, that people took it even further and they developed addition to it. For example, they added displays, they made it work with LoRaWAN, which I can describe to you as Wi-Fi. You have a great bandwidth, but the distance is short. With LoRaWAN you have like a smaller bandwidth, but with the sensors you only need smaller data packages, but you can go much further. So you don't rely only on an infrastructure as here at the university, but you can place them somewhere outside, you know, in the forest, so it's like at the lake, national park, as far as the TTN signal reaches. It's like, from how many kilometers would you speak when you would talk about it?
Well, we every day collect stuff from about 100 kilometers away from our roof. The world record currently is 700 kilometers, but that's not something you do every day.
Yeah,
but
that's
basically
something
what you can see. Yeah. It's called a line of sight. Within 100 kilometers, you can get the data.
Yeah, we are talking carefully with 15 or 20 because these things
depends
are possible.
On how what your gateway looks like.
Exactly, what you set up, but 15 to 20 is like very comfortable, and it enables you further than just 100 of the Wi-Fi. But you can reach the 700 when you tweak the standard, but it is possible. So this is like a very also open community. And these communities exist also very strongly in Central Europe, and it's a strong overlap. So for example, in Stuttgart or in Germany, it's a very strong use case to use the sensors as the use case for this network, because their network is an infrastructure, but they need a use case to make good use of it. So see like, oh, something pops up, there is my sensor, and it sends data. No? So this is like a great connection. And Sebastian and myself, we've been at the TTN conference in Amsterdam this year and met these other projects and communities. So it's like, this is a very strong movement, and we build on top of each other. There is also on technological level a very strong exchange. And especially this collaboration with hacker spaces and with people all over the world make this happen. For example, this flashing tool, it comes from a guy from Warsaw. And now the registration tool, he's also involved in it. So it's like, there is so much overlap and support. And through this partitionary elements, this can grow even bigger, and it will. And I will show you where. The situation that you see now will not be like this at the end of the year. We are expecting to have 24,000 sensors in whole world, but especially to cover everything in Central Eastern Europe. So with every single country there, we established a connection with groups like programmers, hackers. We are also an element of Code for All, where it is like other divisions, Code for Romania, Code for Poland, Code for Ukraine. And then they are very supportive and say, we have people that can code, they're very tech savvy, but we also have the need, let's roll it out. So this is what we are doing now. We are launching every month basically 1 to 2 new countries to cover everything up until Moscow, where we have a team of now 30 people setting it up. And they said, okay, we just started a few weeks ago, but let's beat Bulgaria with close to 1,000 sensors. And they are working on it since already, I think, 2.5 years. So they are very have a high level approach, but let's do it, let's support them. So at the end, what it results in is that yes, we have been growing very strongly, but it is still on a level that the group's been very autonomous, and they had reported to us after 6 months or 12 months, look what we have done, not only with the amount of sensors and the data, but also that people sat down, downloaded the data, which is all available, because everything ever measured you can download. It's an archive, we call, and it's not only done by individuals, but so far to our knowledge also by all of the institutions regarding air quality. And that is a very interesting element to it. So in last year in Leiden, there was the first workshop for 1 week, and I sat there in a room with 50 scientists, and then I found out that all of them are fully aware of our project and are using this data. And then we thought okay, but they tick a little bit different. They have a different language, they take the data from other places, they do other things with it. Let's serve them even better. So this is the conversation that's ongoing since 1 year, and we are now established it in a way that we are on more of these conferences present. And also one was in Frankfurt, and I thought okay, I will go out, I will convince them to participate, this is a great thing. And then basically this, what you see here, this screenshot, was not only in every single presentation of these professors and experts, but 1/3 of their speaking time they've been talking about our project in a way, what do we do good? We place sensors in places where these official measurement stations that are as big as a shipping container can't go. So this little device you can place basically in your backyard and everywhere. And you can distribute it on scale. So this is something that is for them really mind-blowing, and I think that's a very interesting dynamic. That's an interesting data set. And then when you are able to link it away from, we are not trying to replace the official stations, but we want to have an own measurement network. And if you are capable of combining this information, you have more value created. So this is where we are moving towards on. So that is a tool where you can download our data, where you can access the official data,